So today we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over on this fantasy map. In the last episode, we ended with this huge war breaking out. But before we get into that, let's go over the recap. We saw the holy states of aeropesia expanding more up here and creating more major cities in more countries. Remember, they're basically under the same government, it's just they're split into multiple states, but they are all under the same government, shown by this line right here. And, well, yeah, we see a ton of them forming. We saw the destruction of the yellow team and the formation of this orange country over here. We saw the formation of the Parallelogram Alliance to stop the pink team expansion up here in northern Alteron. And then the final part was the war against the colonizers and the coalition of colonization, which is to disband colonizing and make it fairly illegal, and because it's pretty bad. Ton of slavery. That's another thing that I want to go over. Slavery is very prominent now, with these guys. So let's go right into that as our first thing. So as of right now, we know that the big colonizers are these three, and then the minor colonizers are these four. The red team, I don't even think has a colony over here. Yeah, they don't have any colony. But we're gonna go over the slave trade of this world. So basically what happens in the slave trade is the countries up here send their ships down and land in a bunch of these countries, specifically probably these three. Probably not this one anymore because the orange team took it over, and the orange team is pretty powerful. But they have now put another route over to this blue country. They probably won't go through there. They'd probably go through this little channel or whatever. And what they do, they get a bunch of slaves, or they enslave a bunch of people here. And also, I know last video I said that they weren't humans, but I think that makes it a little bit too weird. So yeah, we're just gonna say they're humans again. My bad for making that very unclear. But then after this, they bring them over here and connect them up to various colonies, such as something like this. So this is our slave trade map, and of course these guys it also goes here, and then these guys put slaves through here, and yeah, it looks something a little bit more like this. However, some countries are starting to abolish slavery. Such countries are, in fact, this whole alliance. So, most of the alliance members are going to destroy all they're just going to destroy all relations with slavery, and they're going to abolish it, which also destroys its connection to these colonies, such as this one down here, which gets completely destroyed. And of course, this is greatly hurting the economies of these countries, because it's just very bad. Their whole economy system is based on slavery at this point. But now that they're getting rid of it, people are gonna have to start doing it themselves, except for these guys who continue to have slavery. And yeah, we don't talk about slavery a lot, but yeah, that's something to consider, especially when the red team is making an invasion into one of your strongest countries in your alliance, and they are doing quite good as they cut the country into two pieces and are right outside of the capital city quite immediately, actually. They are right outside this capital city, and as of right now, the alarm bells are sounding for the yellow team. Now, I do believe in the last episode I said that this was the 1100s. So this world is very advanced, and they have guns and everything. So yeah, that's something to consider. But these red team forces are going to continue to make landings all around here and capture more major cities. They also make multiple landings up here as they consolidate a solid front in the north. And as of right now, the red team is targeting the yellow team. And the yellow team, or like this yellow team, is targeting the Floridian country. Now, this country is, or it was not prepared for this. Like, they have a bunch of Navy assets here, but they were not prepared for this country to invade them, especially because they don't even have sea access, except they have bought multiple ports up here. So, like, yeah, technically they do have sea access, it's just they can go through these countries to get to the sea, and that's why they're also, like, pretty strong. But through this one right here, they link up with the yellow team and continue their invasion of the Floridian country, now splitting it into two as well. And this is really bad, as yeah, this is pretty bad. So the green team, yeah, they are gonna get involved pretty quickly here, and they're gonna start sending down supplies to their alliance members. As we see a pretty big pushback taking place over here in the yellow team, as their this major city is recaptured, and down here we see a big advancement by this alliance to encircle a bunch of troops in the city and put a little bit of relieve a little bit of stress from the capital. Now, if I do sound funny, it's just because I got braces. So yeah, that's cool. But they do relieve stress off of their capital city, and the red team is continuing to send forces over here. However, it is going a little bit worse over here in the blue team, as, I mean, a little bit of incursions are made up here. However, this one down here is barely stalled, as they are rarely able to capture anything, and they barely make little to no gain by the capital. So, yeah, that's pretty good for them. But now we're gonna go down to the rebellion, as if we do look at the coalition, if I can find the layer, we see that this one is in the trapezoid coalition, and this one is in, and the pink team is in the cross coalition. And one of the first things that we see is the capturing of this major city right here, and from there it's just gonna collapse from within, as there is no way that they're gonna keep this area, as we see this all go over to the rebellion, and the pink team is reduced to up here in this little island. So yeah, that's pretty good for them. Not really good, sorry. But right here, they are having a little bit of success, as they do reconnect with their exclave, and they make it over to here with the help of the cross team. And they manage to push right back over to this rebellion and start to push it back. However, they're going to sit down, or the leader of the pink team is actually going to go over to the blue team and sit down with a peace talk, because as we know, the blue team is not in this war, or at least I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. But these two are going to agree to peace, and now the pink team just needs to focus on this rebellion. Now, they're going to start focusing on this little exclave, or not exclave anymore, but they're going to focus in over here as they kill a bunch of troops and start to move down right around here. This is where multiple incursions are made, and they capture another, oh my gosh, I can't speak, another major city, and start to go further into this territory, as now they are focusing a bunch of troops over here. So if they, because if they take out this area, then potentially this whole front will fall, and then they can revert over here and start taking them out there. But stepping away from this war, we're actually going to do, or I think we did power rankings last episode, right? Yeah, we did power rankings last episode. But we have to put on a new top 10, or not for everyone, because these guys are just gone, so yeah. And at number 10 now, it is this yellow team, so it just switches from one to the other. So yeah, that's one thing. But now we're going over to the pink team, who is on the move again, and this time it's over here in their X colony, or X islands that they once owned, and here is where the invasion is going to happen. as we see pink team forces landing on this island and immediately taking two major cities and eventually a third, and they start encircling the capital and eventually take this island. Therefore, they start to use it as a staging ground and they invade this island. However, there is more resistance here as the monarchy break away from this gray team empire that was fascist and killed a bunch of people. They are now funding the green team as they do not want the strong pink team to come in and take over all these countries because, as we know, the gray team is severely fractured. They once had land that looked something like this, I believe. Like they controlled all of this a couple episodes ago, and now they're down to about this size. And the rest is new countries who are not very strong. And we know the pink team, I think their height, they look like they look something like that at their height. So yeah, that's basically it for what the pink team looked like. But the pink team wants that back, and they are going to have at it as this country is severely weak, or it's not very strong at all, and it is taken within a couple of weeks because it is not that big. But then when the pink team hears of a certain country funding this green team, they are going to be very mad and then sees this exclave. The purple team is mad and sees it as an act of war. However, they're not going to do anything as the pink team is the strongest country in the world and they don't want to deal with that. Looking at a peace treaty, we see that the pink team completely takes over these islands once again and their empire is slowly coming back. Now, it's time that we finally fill in these areas. I'm sick and tired of looking at just white, so let's fill them in. And this is what we have for our brand new filled in areas. We see that the dark blue team and the orange team take a bunch of land over here, as well as the red team. Down here we see the pink team and the purple team taking a bunch of land. The pink team expands more down south. And then for the final thing, we see that the blue team takes this, and the pink empire takes that. So that is that part filled in. But now time for this part that should have been filled in a long time ago, but I forgot about it. Ooh, this does not look pretty. But in this agreement, we see a couple things happening. We see this border looking absolutely horrendous. This is because they literally could not figure out a border, so they just drew one with their eyes closed. So we see that happening, and we see this little exclave going over to this country. After this, we saw that the blue team took a little bit, but then this purple team will come in and take this. And then what happens over here? Well, it's gonna get even messier. Oh God, this is terrible. I honestly hate this so much, but like it's so funny too. But in this peace treaty, we see the most horrendous peace treaty in I think Wixo history. Like genuinely, I don't think I've seen a border looking worse than this ever. Like I don't even think in like this is just horrible. Now heading over to aeropesia, we are going to see the continuation of the war, except now it is going in the favor of the Allies. I'm just going to call them the Allies because, you know, Britain was on an island. So, yeah, or we're going to call them, or I guess it's just the Diamond Alliance, so let's just call them that. In the colonies, we see the yellow team forces that were stationed here quickly and very deliberately taking over the colony of the blue country and then moving into this Dutch kind of country. I'm sorry, these guys are just the orange team. I'm only going to call the countries that really look like a country that name. And then the yellow team comes down here and takes over this. Over here, nothing happens because these guys are friendly. But over here, it is quite the opposite. As the blue team troops will start to move in to the little tiny yellow team's colony, and they quickly take over a lot of land. Going down here, we see the continuation of the blue team's forces. Moving around and taking as much major cities as possible as they go up this little part and start to go over, and they are doing very well in this area. This is mainly because most of their troops are already stationed over here because they are very into colonizing. And that's why they're kind of losing up here. But now coming back to this front line, we have to go to these countries as they are both in the cross alliance, and with this, they are going to be sending supplies to their ally. This is very good as now the pink team is starting to get liberated as troops start to flow into this exclave down here as it gets taken fairly quickly. And then here, let me just get this color. And then from there they will start their invasion of this exclave. Additionally, the pink team sees success and they push down and take this major city. This is very good for them as now it is a staging ground to go into the middle of this land. And the pink team is slowly but surely gaining ground as this breakaway state is almost completely taken out. And it is from here that the red team continues to get pushed back, even so that this colony, or this major city gets captured. And as of right now, they look like they're gonna lose. This is terrible, as these guys, they want their colonies very bad, and it gets even worse over here to where another country in the Cross Alliance will join or will start attacking. As we see red team forces leaving the capitals of their city-state and moving out into this territory, stopping in these major cities and following the river. This is their only way they know like how to get back. But they quickly move over here, and once they link up, this is where it's going to get brutal. As when they start to link up, a ton of troops are going to start flowing into the this territory, and they also capture another major city, and this is already not going too good for these guys. To make it even worse, this country right here has put pressure on the green team. And just like that, these guys are terrified. As the Danish country, I'm going to call them that because they look like Denmark, but this country continues to go up and they threaten the capital city of the green team as they nearly encircle it, and they start to make multiple landings around this country, and this is bad. These guys are supposed to be I think the fourth strongest country in the world, and they're getting beaten alive, or they're getting eaten alive. Sorry, what the heck am I talking about? It is so bad that they lose two major cities within the first couple of weeks, and a third is on the way when it gets captured couple days later. This is awful, as the Allied powers, or the Allied colonial powers, or the ACP, they are getting destroyed in this war. They have no one that really supports them, besides themselves, and this is really bad. So much so that they're gonna go to extreme lengths. So much so that they're gonna get another country to join this alliance, but who could it possibly be? And that answer to you is the fascist green team over here in aeropesia. These guys originated up here, as you probably know, but now they're back down here, and they are out for revenge. Nobody really knew they existed except for these guys, and it is then revealed that they were actually shipping supplies down to this country, which is really bad for a number of reasons. Because one, that type of fascism, the world did not really like. I mean, the pink team people, they really like fascism because they've been fascist their whole lives. And, like, yeah, just some really bad things happen with their fascism. And this is not good. As then with this newfound knowledge, the green team is going to start to explore over here, and they eventually meet up with the blue team, the Danish colony. I'm just calling it Denmark, like I just said, because they look like Denmark. But they also go down here for absolutely no reason, as one of those aeropesian or the Midland countries wanted a colony, but then it's gonna get bad as oh my gosh, I can't speak. As a ton of troops from this country start to go out around the coast, and they eventually will meet up with these guys as well. And from here, they're invading, and it's not going to go very good. As they invade in, and immediately this colony will fall over to their rule, and then they will continue their invasion of these colonies as they move into here and start to take the rest of these major cities. Right before this colony is captured, the yellow team is going to make a call to arms for all the people in their colonies to evacuate because something really big just happened that may change the tide of the war. In the capital of the green team, a secret, or what was thought to be secret meeting, is held between all of the leaders of the alliance. And what do they talk about in this meeting? Nothing good, as they both sail in ships from their capitals over to this city, through battles actually, so that's kind of weird. But they will meet in the capital city to discuss something that is very, that is against the ideas of the world, and this is, if we are going to win this war, we're going to start killing the people of these countries because they're kind of getting on my nerves and they're getting on your guys' nerves. So from here on out, kill civilians. That's basically what they're saying. They want to kill all the civilians in these colonies and then take them over for themselves. And with this, we are going to see a very bad something occurring over here in the pink team. Yeah, the pink team. As troops from the red team start to move in, they then capture this major city and this one. And then this is where the green team's plan comes into play, as on the religion layer, if we go to that, we are going to be seeing the genociding of the red team religion. This is unheard of at this moment, and this is really bad, as now they're actually like fully genociding this area, not like moving them out. They are killing them. They're doing it so bad that almost all of this area of the pink team is completely genocided. And oh shoot, I forgot that I need to update this like really bad. So maybe I'll do a live stream, I don't know. But this is the breaking point for this war, as after this is heard of, the world is going to join arms and defeat colonialism. Or maybe not defeat, they just really are against it now because they're doing bad things. But one of the first countries to join this is the blue democratic country down here. After this, we see the green team join it. We see this country down here join it, along with their ally. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but these two are allies. We see the orange team join it, and then the last country joining it, the gold team. This is bad. This is like, it's not quite a world war because there's not very many people, or like there's not enough for a world war. So I'm not counting it as a world war. But over here, this is terrible, as now with this, a ton of countries just joined the war against colonialism, and now the effects are going to be felt from this genocide over here in these two colonies. But over here, we see two very large rebellions breaking out in these colonies, and from here, it is going way downhill, and it even results in one of the countries up here experiencing complete collapse. This country is the yellow team. The yellow team, though, right before this collapse, is able to push back a bunch of troops from the red team, as this is like a final straw before the really, really, really large thing is about to happen, as they push them all the way back to this major city. However, it is here that a other power in the Cross Alliance will finally get involved, and it will result in the collapse of the Yellow Team. As we see Brown Team forces moving in and capturing tons of coastal area, as this movement is really bad, and also this island is fortified with hundreds of thousands of troops across this whole alliance. This is the nail in the coffin, and it is on this day that the capital city will be attacked and captured, and this will result in the whole collapse of the Yellow Team on the main island. As we see 4 countries breaking away from the Yellow Team, and that's going to do it for today's episode, and we are going to discuss the ending of this war in the next one. But if you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe. After this war is done, the world is going to start rapidizing very quickly, and even to the point where we are getting very close to our first major world war. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. All support is greatly appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next one.